Y'all, I am so excited right now because this session is about to be everything. I just gave a virtual hug to my virtual BFF, Bryan. Okay, me and Tivy chopped it up a little bit. You gonna get Tivy live? Get ready, y'all. Okay. But y'all, I'm so excited to start off by announcing and highlighting our next sponsor. Practivated is an AI-powered donor conversation simulator and fundraising coach that strengthens fundraising teams and supports fundraisers. Fundraisers practice in a no-pressure environment while leaders gain insights into team-wide strengths and opportunities, helping organizations build confidence, drive donor engagement, and improve fundraising outcomes. Meet the first AI coach for fundraisers. Practivated lets you practice donor conversations in a safe, no-pressure space and get instant feedback. And y'all, check out this next video from Practivated.
Every modern tool and technology available to us, why do we still struggle to meet the donor where they are in their journey? It's because technology can't replace the #1 skill set fundraisers use and need every single day to move from insights to action: the art of human conversation and connection. Because conversations move missions. The right conversation can unlock generosity, deepen trust, and fuel impact. But fundraisers rarely get a safe place to practice those high-stakes moments. That's why we built Practivated, the first AI-powered donor conversation simulator built just for fundraisers. Our AI coach, Tivy, provides real-time, personalized feedback so every fundraiser can build confidence, sharpen their storytelling, and strengthen relationships.
I'm your strategic fundraising coach built right into Practivated. My whole focus is helping fundraisers like you take confident, high-impact action by aligning with what truly drives donor behavior. I'm trained in evidence-backed strategies that center authentic connection, ethical storytelling, and time-smart execution. Nothing fluffy, all results-oriented. So whether you're navigating a tricky donor conversation, refining your outreach, or battling fundraising fatigue, I'm here for just-in-time guidance that's practical and actionable.
Ready to see it in action? Step into practice today. Practivated, confidence for every conversation.
Y'all, that's me stepping into practice, okay? The video told us that's me stepping in, y'all, okay? Y'all, I'm so excited for our first speaker. Bryan Funk has spent 15 years at the intersection of fundraising, community building, and nonprofit technology, raising over $100 million through organizations like Invisible Children, To Write Love in Her Arms, Virtuous, and more. As the head of go-to-market at Practivated, he helps nonprofits connect strategy, storytelling, and technology to move missions forward, okay? And y'all gotta meet my good friend, Coach Tivy, okay? I checked out Tivy live and I was blown away, okay? I said, is this, what? I couldn't imagine. Y'all, Tivy is your AI-powered practice partner for donor conversations built on insights from 80,000 real coaching sessions, y'all. Tivy offers a safe space to rehearse, ask, navigate objections, and get confidence building feedback. Designed to support, not replace fundraisers, Tivy helps turn practice into performance, strengthening donor relationships and fueling greater generosity. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna get out the way so you can see the magic in action. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Floyd. That was an all-time introduction. Floyd Jones, always bringing the energy, folks. Let's give him an emoji round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great job. Hey, y'all. My name is Bryan Funk. I just want to call out seeing a lot of good pals across the sector here today. Man, I saw Eric Tamales in the chat. Otis, I saw you. Dana. Oh my gosh, like so many friends across so many paths are here today. So thanks so much. Frank Mumford, hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Krista, thanks so much for coming. Y'all, before we get started and before we dive into the session, I would love to hear from everyone. Just call out in the chat, best session you attended over the last 2 days. I know that I'm going to go back and rewatch. So let's feed our community with some of the best speakers, sessions, and insights that you heard this week, so that we can all have nudges to go back. So I know I'm going to come back to this chat. I'm going to bookmark it. Can't pick one. I love that. So come back to this chat and, hopefully you'll have some recommendations from folks in our community. Today, I am going to be joined by, this is actually like the first time we've ever done this. I'm just going to like show my cards very openly. I am inviting our AI coach, Tivy, to participate in this session and conversation with me. So I am so excited to try this for the first time in this kind of setting and environment. We are going to be talking about how to close the gap between insights and actions, but ultimately how AI can help you be more human in donor conversations. Now, before I start, there's something else I want to call out. I want to see in the chat. There's a couple words for me that come to mind when I think of AI. What's one word that comes to mind for you when you think of AI? And I'm going to throw some out there, right? You think of innovation, efficiency, optimization, automation. Like, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you when you think of AI? Helper, love that. New best friend, love that. You love meeting Tivy. Ethics, resource, efficiency, terrifying and exciting, a partner, time saving. These are great. Now, I want to flash back to where my career started. And I was 21. I didn't know what in the world I was doing. I was just following my heart and passion. I had fundraised my way through college, and I started working at an organization called Invisible Children. Now, Invisible Children was working to end, at the time, the longest running conflict in Central Africa. It was a child soldier conflict being perpetrated at the hands by a man named Joseph Kony. Now, for those of you that remember, and maybe give me a thumbs up in the chat if you remember, we happened to steward in 2012 the most viral, fastest growing campaign in the history of the internet. It was called Kony 2012. And when I think of the intersection of nonprofit fundraising, donor engagement, AI, technology, there are actually two words that come to mind for me. And this actually threads all the way back to what we did during Kony 2012. And it's still as relevant to me in this work today as it was 15 years ago. And so we stewarded this campaign. And the first thing that comes to mind when I think about AI, and the two big lessons that I learned was, one was innovation. Now, innovation isn't necessarily intertwined with AI, right? So 15 years ago, before the AI era even existed, we were very early adopters at Invisible Children of modern digital tech. And I saw the power of what happened when nonprofits innovate to run their organizations and engage donors in meaningful ways using technology, right? We went viral. 100 million people viewed our YouTube video and campaign in 5 days. Guess what happened? Our servers crashed. But what was the one thing that kept running when our website was down? All of our online giving functionality. Online giving technology literally kept our organization alive during the largest volume spike in the history of our work. It was amazing to see that power on display. Now, AI aside, I was tuning into a session with Sherry and Koshi earlier today over at Kind. And he was saying, if you don't have a use case where AI impacts your ability to engage donors and fundraise, don't use it, right? We don't want to innovate for the sake of innovation. We want to innovate for the sake of moving our mission forward. So the first word that comes to mind for me for the power of AI is innovation. But the second word that comes to mind for me is all about connection, right? We can't, like, when we think about the gap between insights and action, it is critical that we're fostering deep, true, authentic connection. And at Invisible Children, we built a movement. We knew that relationships mattered. And without exaggeration, we literally twice a year for 100 days at a time put over 100 our staff in 20 vans that traveled the country building one-to-one relationships. This is something that is not scalable. This is a heavy lift. Get your hands dirty. Technology cannot help you here. Building relationships, movement building, speaking to anywhere between 300 and 10,000 people a day. And we did this for 8 years. And 8 years of this heavy movement building actually garnered a supporter base of over 3 million people. And there's only one reason we went viral. It's because we built those relationships. It's because we had that connection. We didn't hack an algorithm. We didn't have some Madison Avenue marketing agency that helped us pull a hat trick. It was literally passionate 20 somethings believing that they could make a difference and change the world and end a conflict halfway around the world. And so we drove with connection first. And I think for me, this is the reminder of what is so powerful in the age of AI. It's the reminder that we have to maintain our constant. We have to maintain the gift and the power of why we're all in this industry in the first place. We care about tackling the greatest problems that are facing our communities and the world. And we're doing it because we believe that we can make a difference, and we believe that others can come alongside us to share in moving the needle on those problems. And so connection to me is so powerful. And where this comes into play at Practivated is that I am reminded every day that what we were doing 15 years ago, one conversation at a time, is that conversations move missions. But there's something else that I think Invisible Children did very, very well. And we were very good at realizing that prompts move missions. We did not end a speaking engagement, a YouTube video, a landing page call to action that wasn't very, very, very clear on what we were prompting you to do. Make a one-time donation, volunteer, call a senator, become a recurring donor, donate 3 days a week. Every single activation that we had, whether it was digital, leveraging innovation and technology, or whether it was leveraging the human connection, was very, very, very clear on precise prompts that donors can leverage and use. And not just donors, supporters too, could leverage and use to help us move our mission forward. So prompts move missions forward. But ultimately, the right prompt drives the right behavior. And so I also believe that conversations placed with the right prompts influence the right behaviors that move our missions forward. I'm just checking the chat here. Thanks, everybody. This is great. Okay. The other thing I didn't say at the beginning is if people have questions or want to jump in or want me to speak to something, this session is also fluid. So I am happy to speak to any questions as we go throughout. And Floyd will also wrap us up if folks have questions. So as we think about conversations, prompts, and behaviors, donor behavior has some patterns that we might not realize. And when we think about our fundraising performance indicators, they actually connect all the way back to fundraiser psychology. And donor behavior is a response to both our fundraiser psychology, our fundraisers' behavior, or our own behavior as a fundraiser, and how we're effectively prompting and inviting donors into solving the problems we're trying to solve. And that is what is going to influence donor behavior. Now, I want to paint this in a different light. Dr. BJ Fogg founded the Behavior Design Lab at Stanford University. He teaches industry innovators how to use his models and methods in behavior design. Now, his model focuses on 3 core elements that have to converge in order for a behavior to occur. And that is the right motivation, that is ability, and it's the right prompt or trigger. So I want to visualize this for you. When you look at the Fogg behavior model, you look at a fundraiser's ability or confidence, and you look at that red dotted line. So the lower a fundraiser's confidence in delivering a trigger or a prompt, which is the fundraiser's ask to a donor, the less likely we get a gift. The stronger the fundraiser's ability aligned to the donor's motivation, higher confidence with the right ask, results in more money raised and the more likelihood that we'll see gifts donated to our organization. So again, this is all going back to conversations move missions, prompts move missions, behaviors move missions. And here at Practivated, we're actually seeing AI can be very transformative in helping develop the human skill sets and confidence in order to effectively deliver the ask and raise more money. And we're seeing this in fundraisers. We're seeing more confident fundraisers. We're seeing an increase in ask effectiveness with donors. And we're actually seeing better strategic implementation for how to build personalized donor journeys with our donors, how to meet a donor where they are, how to engage them in the right meaningful ways at the right time. And for managers and executives, we're actually seeing management teams feel less guilty about the fact that they are managing their own donor pipeline and trying to coach and level up and develop a team. They're seeing a strengthened donor pipeline across the fundraising team, and they're feeling like they have the ability to provide more support. And this plays out in a few ways. So we're actually seeing this is a specific case between two of our clients, two of our customers, where we're seeing a 33% increase in ask effectiveness. We're seeing an 11% increase in adaptability and decision making under pressure. We're seeing an increase in the ability to build trust. And we're actually seeing a 97% connection sentiment within Practivated. That means that fundraisers have really strong ability to create authentic connection and strong sentiment with their donors. Now, this is the moment where I want to invite Tivy on stage, because I want to actually show you how does delivering the right prompt with an effective ask, with the right donor motivation, with practice and coaching, actually enable us to do this in the real world, sitting across the table at a dinner conversation with a donor. So Floyd already did a great intro of Tivy, so you have spared me of that. So I'm going to jump right into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to welcome Tivy up on stage here. And I actually have developed a couple prompts. So again, this is live. None of this is pre-recorded. This is not rehearsed. So I am experiencing this fresh with you. But I have developed a couple prompts and questions that I want to ask Tivy. And I just want you to see and experience how an AI donor conversation coach can help you strengthen and prepare for your donor meetings and develop strategies to engage donors within your donor file and your portfolio. So let's jump over here and introduce Tivy. All right. I'm also just going to make sure I have the chat open. Beautiful. Okay, let's get started.
Hello, Bryan. How are you doing?
Hey, Tivy, it's great to have you here. We're actually right now, you and I are live at the Fundraising AI Summit. We're talking to about 250 fellow fundraisers and folks that are passionate about using AI to strengthen the way that they build relationships with donors. And I'm hoping that you and I can go through a couple donor scenarios and prompts in order to better understand how you can help me and help us strengthen our ability to build authentic connection with donors. How does that sound?
That sounds energizing, Bryan. I'm glad to be here with you. And 250 fundraisers ready to up-level how they connect with donors. Let's dig into a donor scenario you're tackling now. Who's someone you're preparing to reach out to? Or maybe someone you've been hesitating to engage with? Give me a snapshot of the relationship or situation, and we'll work from there.
Yeah, that's great advice, Tivy. So I actually saw that Jamie, one of our longtime donors, she's been giving for several years at a pretty high capacity, has downgraded her gift this year. I was in donor search and I was doing some wealth screening, and I see that her capacity is still really strong. And we're meeting in person next week. What do you think I should focus on in that meeting?
Great context, Bryan. When a longtime donor like Jamie downgrades despite strong capacity, that's often a signal, not about finances, but about alignment or emotion. In your meeting, focus first on re anchoring the relationship. Open with genuine curiosity, not concern. Jamie, your support over the years has meant so much. I'd love to hear what's been on your heart lately when it comes to giving. That invites her to share what shifted timing, values, communication gaps, or something else without putting her on the defensive. From there, reflect back what you hear and reconnect the impact of her past giving to a current issue she cares deeply about. What's one thing she's especially passionate about that you could bring into that conversation?
Mm, those are really good suggestions, Tivy. I'm actually curious. For Jamie, I'm wondering, could you provide maybe 2 to 3 examples of non-monetary asks that I should think about before I go into the meeting, just so I can find other ways to engage her?
Absolutely, Brian. Thinking beyond the check is smart. It deepens connection and often reactivates giving in more aligned ways down the road. For Jamie, here are a few purposeful asks to consider. Would she be open to sharing feedback on a new initiative you're launching, framing it as, your perspective is so valued? Would you be willing to weigh in? Could you invite her to connect with a newer donor who shares her passion area? You're giving her a meaningful peer role, not more work. Or ask if she'd be interested in visiting a program site or attending a small roundtable, something that reconnects her emotionally to the impact. Pick one that feels most natural based on your relationship. Which one do you think you'd feel most comfortable leaning into next week?
Yeah, that's great advice, Tivy. I love that you leaned into actually asking for her feedback, right? If, like, let's say I'm sending an email out to our donor file and getting her input as the donor is a great way to involve her in the work that we're doing in a non monetary way. That's amazing. I want to move to another scenario, if that's okay. I'm let's go to getting unstuck after a no. So I recently asked a corporate partner to renew a $50,000 corporate gift, and they said no because budgets are tight. But I still want them in. How do you think I should follow up in a way that strengthens the relationship?
That's a powerful scenario, Brian, and a moment where how you respond makes all the difference. A no isn't the end. It's often the start of a more honest, strategic partnership. Reach back out, not with another ask, but with a clear, confident reframe. I know the timing wasn't right for renewal this year, and I completely understand. We're still deeply committed to your company being part of this work. Would you be open to a conversation about other ways we can collaborate that align with your current focus? You're signaling respect for their constraints while keeping the door wide open. From there, you can offer lighter touch pathways like employee engagement, visibility in newsletters, or co creating an event that costs them less but keep them meaningfully involved. Want to brainstorm one specific mission aligned opportunity you could float in that follow up?
I'd love to do that, but we're running short on time, Tivy. So I'm going to ask you one more question, and it's really about my own prioritization and workflow. So today, I have to get through at least 3 to 5 donor touch points that are a bit overdue, but I also have members of our board that need help writing an email to solicit some major givers. What do you think I should prioritize today to make the biggest impact?
Smart to pause and ask Brian, when you're tight on time, prioritize what moves relationships forward most directly. In this case, tackle the 3-5 donor touchpoints first. Each one is a chance to strengthen trust, and delaying further could cool momentum. Keep them short and focused. Share a recent win, reflect their impact, and express genuine curiosity about how they're doing. Once those are out, block a tight window to support your board, but don't write it all for them. Give them a strong, donor centered starter line and a clear impact story they can personalize. Quick to prep, more sustainable long term. To get moving fast, who's the first donor you'll reach out to today, and what's the one thing you most want them to feel from your message?
Amazing. Thanks, Tivy. We're at time. So I'm going to click finish here. And when you do, I know that the session is over right now. So I just want to show you all really quickly. When you're done having a conversation with Tivy, she will give you a session recap. She'll give you action items so that you can continue strategizing. Um, and I know that folks are asking in the chat if you get a transcript. All of that is made available to you. But my hope here is that this showcased how AI can be leveraged as a tool to help us in the detailed, nuanced, intricate details of the relationships that we're building. So you could bring very precise, very nuanced relational details in a conversation with Tivy and get her input and advice. And the last thing I want to let you know is that we actually offer a free trial. We want people to have access to be able to get in there, try it out, experiment with AI. So scan this QR code. I also think John Carlo in the chat, if you could drop the free trial link, that would be amazing. But scan this QR code, and this will send you to a place where you could get a 2-week free trial. So we'd love for you to get in and build a relationship with Tivy yourself. And we are also going to be in the lounge right after this. So if you want to come and have a conversation with Tivy, I'm basically going to be opening the floodgates. So people like bring your own scenarios, bring your own questions, and you can talk with Tivy right after this in the lounge. Thanks, y'all. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having us. This was really fun and can't wait to connect with everybody after the session ends.
Oh my gosh. Did y'all like Tivy is not playing any games, okay? Tivy is the place to be, okay? Also, I was thinking to myself, I think all of the tentacles is just all of the knowledge and the wisdom because she kept going and going and going, y'all. She just kept on going. She kept giving me the insights. Like, how incredible was that? I feel like that deserves a 5 out of 5 for Bryan, but then maybe a 6 out of 5 because Tivy just gave us the insights. Like, that was absolutely incredible. Give it up for Bryan. Give it up for Tivy. Okay, that was wonderful. And obviously, let us know what you think of the session by scanning that QR code and giving us that feedback, okay? And if you want to practice live, right? Like if you want to ask a question to Tivy, and trust me, I tried it before. I was shook yet. I said, huh? Like, how is this even happening? It's really that good. Go to that lounge, y'all, and meet with Bryan Funk, Coach Tivy, and also they just have a superstar team, right? Giancarlo, Mallory, like the list just goes on. It just wins all around, okay? Wins all around. So step into the lounge, meet Coach Tivy up close. This is your chance to try the world's first AI-powered donor conversation coach for yourself, okay? And y'all remember how to get to that lounge. Reception, hit the lounge button, and you'll be good from there. Coming up next, ooh, child, me and my good friends, y'all. AI needs authenticity, creating social content that resonates. My good sis, Dana Snyder, as well as Dimitri from Arbor, Kate from Candid, and Brady from Charity Water, y'all. You do not want to miss that session, okay? And it's CFRE verified, all right? On the innovation stage, the rise of AI agents and nonprofit teams work smarter, fundraise better. That sounds like a win-win to me if I ever heard one. From Tim Paris from Dataro, okay? And then impact stage, it's not just the tools. Why AI feels hard and what to do about it. My good sis Mallory, Kaz McGrath, and Nina from Namaste Data. And also, the Spark stage is open. It's open. Coming up, we have this session. Well, that backfired. I love the titles because they're as animated as I am. Okay. Coming up, we have Well, That Backfired, AI leadership decisions that blow up. Okay. Check the agenda and make sure you bookmark your favorite Spark session. And not just your favorite Spark session, but all your favorite sessions, okay? Go to the schedule, go through and click them. Y'all, we only have a few more hours, which is like crazy to believe. We have a few more hours, so make sure you don't miss your favorite sessions. Y'all, thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm Jazz. Tivy got me hyped, okay? You got me hyped. And if you want to get into our next session, I'll see you soon, okay? Bye, y'all.